How harm reduction and other liberal policies are causing the drug epidemic. Recent studies have revealed growing evidence that cannabis, particularly cannabinoids, is a significant contributor to psychotic breaks in otherwise healthy adults. This evidence is now nearly as definitive as the established link between smoking and lung cancer. Given this, it is reasonable to ask why the most obvious culprits, the manufacturers of THC vapes, have largely avoided accountability. The companies producing THC vapes often operate in unregulated and transient business models. These businesses frequently shut down and reopen under different names, making them elusive legal targets. As a result, lawsuits aimed at holding these companies accountable are not financially appealing for attorneys. On the other hand, more stable and economically viable entities, such as pharmaceutical manufacturers, become easier targets for litigation. It is essential to clarify that this does not suggest that legal drugs or pharmaceutical companies are not responsible for side effects or beyond scrutiny. However, in the case of a psychotic episode experienced by many young persons, the more direct cause appears to be the THC vape they consumed. Therefore, by legalizing but not regulating marijuana, America has exacerbated the drug epidemic. When examining harm reduction strategies and decriminalization of cannabis, the flaws become evident when faced with the realities on the ground. For instance, among homeless populations across American cities, it becomes quickly apparent that many individuals exhibit profound detachment from reality, with a considerable number displaying symptoms of psychosis. What is the leading cause of psychosis in the United States? Research points to the abuse of THC and cannabis-related products as a significant factor, and that psychotic break makes people more vulnerable to using harder drugs. Given this, we must consider whether individuals suffering from psychosis have any degree of impulse control, let alone the ability to make rational decisions. Can we reasonably expect to engage with someone who is fundamentally disconnected from reality? The answer is no. Attempting to reason with such individuals about the dangers of their behavior proves inherently futile. Leaving psychotic individuals, particularly those battling drug addiction, on the streets without proper intervention is equivalent to condemning them to a downward spiral. Without appropriate care, these policies effectively sentence these individuals to death. Many liberal policies often prioritize the emotional satisfaction of feeling that dangerous individuals have been protected. This approach, sometimes referred to as tiger petting, aims to safeguard individuals, yet inadvertently causes greater harm than more conservative strategies. On the other hand, progressive approaches should focus on reducing drug abuse compassionately and effectively. To address addiction properly, we must treat it as a highly contagious social illness. This may require placing individuals who pose a danger to themselves and others in protective custody. At the same time, there must be a cultural shift toward limiting the promotion of recreational drug use in public, similar to how explicit content is regulated. This is not to suggest banning discussions of illicit drug use entirely, but rather ensuring that such conversations happen in appropriate, controlled settings. Public spaces, especially those where minors are present, should remain free from discussions about drug use and sexually explicit material. Furthermore, discussions about recreational drug use should be treated with the same level of sensitivity and respect as conversations about sex. If someone is uncomfortable with discussions about drug use, whether in public spaces, on TV, or on the radio, their objections should be respected. Continuing these conversations against their wishes should carry similar social and legal consequences to those that apply to sexual harassment. Ultimately, compassionate and effective drug policies must balance the need to protect individual rights with the responsibility to ensure public safety. As a society, we must approach addiction with sensitivity, but also with the clarity that certain protections and boundaries are essential for the well-being of all. For more on responsible policies and progressive approaches to public health, subscribe and stay informed.